Picture this. You finally booked that dream trip to another country. You're walking into a massive, bustling airport, dragging your suitcase, totally hyped for the adventure of a lifetime. But then, right in the middle of all that excitement, a wave of anxiety just hits you, and a very real question pops into your head. Look, if that exact thought makes your stomach drop, you are absolutely not alone. It is so incredibly common for English learners to feel super nervous before their first big international trip. But I have some fantastic news for you in this explainer. You really don't need to be fluent to navigate an airport. Seriously, airports operate on a very strict, highly predictable routine. They use simple English that we can easily master together. Once you get a handle on just a few common words and phrases, you are going to be able to travel anywhere with total confidence. Okay, let's dive into this. Our itinerary for today covers the airport check-in, navigating airport security, finding your gate, boarding your airplane, and finally, essential tips and phrases. Following this exact chronological order will show you just how structured the whole airport experience actually is. All right, step 1, the airport check-in. Imagine you've just arrived at the airport, say 2 hours before your flight. The building is huge, the energy is completely buzzing, and you head straight for your airline's front desk. Your main goal right here? Getting your boarding pass. This is an absolutely essential piece of vocabulary. Whether it's a physical piece of paper or a digital QR code on your phone, your boarding pass is essentially your golden ticket. Without it, you literally can't get on the plane. It confirms all your flight details and is basically the key to unlocking the rest of your journey. And this brilliantly illustrates the next thing you need to know. Because to get that pass, the airline employee is going to ask about your luggage. You've got to know the physical difference between a carry-on bag, the small backpack or mini suitcase you actually take onto the airplane with you, and your checked baggage. The checked baggage is that big, heavy suitcase you leave at the counter so it can travel down below in the cargo area. So, with those terms in your back pocket, let's look at the actual conversation. You step up to the counter, and the employee will likely smile and say something exactly like, "Good morning. May I see your passport, please?" I want you to mentally practice this right now. Picture yourself handing over your passport and calmly replying, "Here you are." Then they'll ask if you're checking any bags, and you can confidently say, "Yes, I have one suitcase." They weigh it, hand you your boarding pass, and boom, you are officially checked in. Moving right along, step 2, navigating airport security. Now, I know this is typically the most stressful part of the trip for pretty much everyone, no matter what language they speak. But we can instantly lower that anxiety just by knowing what's coming. When you walk up to security, you'll see the line, you'll see the officers, and they're going to give you very standard instructions. First, please place your bag on the conveyor belt. Next, please remove your laptop and any liquids, which you'll toss into a plastic bin. And finally, they'll tell you to step forward and walk through the scanner. If you mentally rehearse these 3 physical actions beforehand, the English words basically just act as simple cues for what you already know you need to do. And after you walk through that scanner and pass the check, the officer will give you a nod and say, "You're all set." Listen, that is the magic phrase. It means you passed, you did everything perfectly, and you are totally free to grab your stuff and keep going. You can just hit them with a quick "thank you," and you're off. Which brings us to step 3, finding your gate. Okay, deep breath. The stressful part is entirely behind you. You are now inside the main terminal, which is basically like a massive indoor city. Your goal right now is to find your gate, literally just the specific seating area where you wait before getting on your flight. So the crucial point is, once you follow the arrows and find your gate number, always take a quick second to check the digital departure screen hanging right there. You want to make sure your flight is listed as on time. Once you confirm that, you can totally relax. Go grab a coffee, check out the duty-free shop, just take it easy. While you're chilling at the gate, take a look at your boarding pass to check your seat assignment. Back at the check-in counter, they probably asked if you wanted a window seat for those awesome views, or an aisle seat, which is right next to the walkway so you can stretch your legs. Knowing these terms ensures you get exactly the kind of flight you want when confirming your ticket.
Let's move to and see how this builds into step 4, boarding your airplane. So you're at the gate, you've got your coffee, your boarding pass is ready, and it's almost time to go. Suddenly, you hear the overhead loudspeakers crackle to life. Over all the airport background noise, you need to listen for a very specific announcement that goes something like this. Flight 208 to London is now boarding. Hearing your flight number followed by is now boarding, that is your ultimate cue. It is time to stand up, grab your carry-on, and get in line.
Boarding is just the official term for getting onto the airplane. The gate agent checks your pass one last time, wishes you a good trip, and you walk down that enclosed bridge. You step through the airplane door, a flight attendant smiles and says, "Welcome aboard," and you find your seat. You toss your carry-on up into the overhead compartment, sit down, buckle up, and you did it. Finally, let's look at step 5, essential tips and phrases. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that these few sentences alone will honestly solve about 90% of your airport interactions. Look at these. Where is the check-in counter? May I see your passport? I have one suitcase. Can I have a window seat, please? And where's the security check? I literally want you to pull out your phone and take a screenshot of this list right now. Keep it safe for your trip. It's an absolute game changer. Along with having those phrases handy, keep these basic survival tips in mind. Number 1, speak slowly and clearly. There is absolutely no rush. Number 2, listen for your flight number on the announcements. Number 3, follow the signs. They use universal symbols for a reason. And honestly, the most important one, do not be afraid to ask questions. Airport staff deal with international travelers all day, every single day. They are totally used to different accents and English levels. And hey, if you ever get stuck or someone speaks way too fast, here is your ultimate backup phrase. Could you please repeat that? Or even, could you speak a little more slowly, please? It is perfectly okay and totally natural to ask for clarification. People are generally super happy to help if you just ask. So before we wrap this up, I have a quick mini challenge for you. Think of me as your supportive travel buddy right now. I want you to practice speaking these words out loud. Go ahead, say it with me. Hello, I'd like to check in for my flight. Here is my passport. I have one suitcase. Where is my gate? Thank you very much. Take a second. Keep practicing those at home until they feel effortless. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel. Look, speaking English at the airport really doesn't have to be a nightmare. With a handful of keywords, some basic phrases, and a little bit of practice, you can confidently navigate your way across the globe. Every seasoned traveler had to start somewhere, right? Every conversation is just a chance to get a little bit better. So I'll leave you with this. Now that the language barrier is no longer holding you back, what incredible destination are you going to conquer next? Safe travels and, seriously, keep practicing.